Something massive just happened overnight, and if you haven't heard about it yet, you need to. The United States has officially begun a naval blockade of Iranian port starting yesterday. And this is not a drill, this is not a rumor. Let me exactly break it down what happened, why it happened, and what it means for all of us. To understand today's video, you have to go back to last weekend. The US and Iran have been at war since late February, when President Trump announced a major combat operations with a joint US military campaign targeting Iranian military and government sites. After weeks of fighting, both sides agreed to a fragile 2-week ceasefire just 5 days ago. But that ceasefire came with a condition: Iran had to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important shipping lanes on the planet. Iran had been largely shutting it down to commercial vessels and, in some cases, demanding tolls of up to $2 million per ship just to let them through. The US called it extortion, Iran called it leverage. With the ceasefire on the table, US and Iranian delegations they came to Islamabad, Pakistan for a rare face-to-face negotiation this past weekend. Vice President J.D. Vance led the American side, and the two teams spent more than 21 hours trying to hammer out a deal. By all accounts, progress was made on several issues. But there was one problem that neither side could resolve: Iran's nuclear program. Then, Trump posted on Truth Social Sunday morning saying the meeting went well, but that the only point that really mattered, nuclear, was not agreed upon. And just like that, the talks collapsed. Within hours, Trump took the Truth Social again. He announced that the US Navy would begin blockading any and all ships trying to enter or leave the Strait of Hormuz. He also said the Navy would seek and intercept every vessel that had paid a toll to Iran, and that US forces would begin clearing the mines Iran had laid in the strait. He ended the post with a direct warning that any Iranian who fires at US forces or peaceful vessels, in his exact words, he will be blown to hell. By Sunday afternoon, US Central Command made it official. They announced the blockade would begin on Monday morning, April 13 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. CENTCOM, the United States Central Command, said the blockade would apply to all ships entering or leaving Iranian ports along the Arabian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman, and ships that are not going to or coming from Iranian ports will be allowed to pass freely through the strait. The reaction was immediate. Oil prices crossed $100 a barrel again. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps warned that any military vessel approaching the strait will be dealt with, and I'm quoting them here, harshly and decisively. Iran's parliament speaker, who was actually at the negotiating table in Pakistan, he posted a photo of gas prices near Washington, D.C., with a caption essentially telling Americans to enjoy what they are paying at the pump right now. So, meanwhile, the UK, they have confirmed it will not join the blockade, though it is working with France and other partners to protect freedom of navigation in the region. The big question now is, where does this go from here? A blockade of this scale on a waterway this critical is something the world has not seen in decades. Vice President J.D. Vance said diplomacy is not over. But right now, the guns and the wars are doing talking. Stay tuned, because this situation is moving fast. Subscribe for more.